But families of the remaining 27 abducted students of the Forestry College in Afaka, Kaduna State are anxiously awaiting their handover after they turned out to receive them at the school premises on Thursday, but were asked to return on Friday by officials. Our political editor, SUMNER, who's live in Kaduna State, has this report for us.
Jubilant parents of the abducted students singing to high heavens at the college premises as they await the handover of the free 27 students who have spent about 56 days in captivity. But after waiting for a while, college officials informed the parents that the handover had been shifted to Friday as the freed students were still receiving medical treatment.
I give glory to God. I'm so happy. My joy is full because since that day, all staff, students, we are not okay. We are not comfortable. But now we heard the news yesterday. Since that yesterday, we are so full of joy.
I don't know anything concerning negotiations, talk less of now ransom. The joy that I have here is my daughter have won. And the thing that marvels me, she's not alone. They pack them plenty. So unfortunately, they talk say that they are bringing them back. The way I just look at it, government should walk over this and secure people's life and properties.
I was mad. It's God that really saved me because I have high blood pressure. If not because of my sister that was with me that very day, I couldn't even know what could have happened.
Some students at the Forestry College shared their experiences after hearing the news of their colleagues being freed and what they plan to do when they eventually receive them.
We as SUG, we have a plan towards the celebration. Yes, we really have a plan towards celebration, even though it may not be immediately their resumption or their returning, but possibly because we are just about certain exams. So after exam, we'll just join up everything all together to do our celebration. Then I will call on the college, or I'll advise on the college to call on the government, because it is government that have the capacity and the power to secure its citizens. Now we are the citizens, but we are not seeing any encouraging security.
Very excited. I'm so happy. I'm very happy.
Okay. So when you heard that they were meant to have been brought in here today, but they couldn't, and then it's tomorrow, how did you feel?
I feel disappointed because I'm just coming back from my work. Once, as they said, they've brought them back to school. I just said, let me just use the opportunity to come and see them.
The atmosphere here at the college premises remains that of relief and joy that the students have finally been freed after negotiations by mediators. The parents in a joint statement thanked some former presidents of Nigeria like Olusegun Obasanjo, Abdulsalami Abubakar, Muslim cleric Sheikh Ahmad Gumi, the media and other Nigerians for standing by them all through their plight. Most of the college officials who don't want to be on camera also told Arise News how excited they are about the returning of these abducted students. They say some of them are receiving treatment while urging parents to remain calm as both the school authorities and state government officials work with security forces to ensure that they are returned safely. SAMBO, Arise News.
Well, for the latest update from Kaduna, Rise News political editor SUMNER is in Kaduna. He joins us now. SUMNER, glad to have you join us. Would you bring us up to speed? We hear that the parents are waiting that the students could be released to them tomorrow. Bring us up to speed on that score.
Yes, indeed. The students are being taken care of here at the medical facility within Kaduna town here. And the parents, after anxiously waiting for their arrival at the school premises in Afaka, just outskirts of Kaduna, they were told by officials that they had to wait much longer as a lot of things were being done to ensure that the students are in good health. And some of the student union leaders that we talked about even said they were happy about the fact that it was still shifted a bit, because a lot of their colleagues must have undergone a lot of psychological torture. So they need those few moments to be able to regain their strength, and then for those of them who have injuries to be able to at least have those injuries attended to by medical personnel before eventually they are allowed to meet with them and then their parents. So yes, a lot of them actually told us that it's worth the while, although many of the anxious parents would have actually loved to see those students, return to them immediately today.
Well, somehow we're definitely excited seeing the fact that they're getting the help that they need, especially the fact that they've been away for over 40 days means that they need a lot of psychological help and even medical attention, especially since we hear that a few of them might be pregnant, when they were abducted. But let's talk about the fact that yesterday we had the Commissioner for Internal Security, Samuel Arwan, asking him about the fact that, was it true that ransom was paid to secure the release of the students? But we didn't get a clear answer. Sumner, what are you hearing right there in Kaduna State concerning how the release of the students were secured?
Well, one of the parents, you must have listened to there on the story we played earlier on, said it categorically that he wasn't aware if any ransom was paid, and he wasn't brought into the negotiations. But I can tell our viewers that from the information that we have available, one of the bandits had to be forced to help out in freeing the students after his father was brought into the issue. So his father was approached by some of the mediators to get in touch with his son, who is among the bandits, and he was told of the consequences of him not freeing these students, of his group not freeing the students. And he was told that no money was going to be paid to his group, and he was angry. The group members had said that they wouldn't accept such a situation where no further monies will be paid for the release of these 27 persons, as monies had been paid earlier on for the release of those 10 other students that were freed earlier on. So in the process, the information that we gathered is that eventually the father was able to convince one of these bandit leaders to insist on the release of these 27 students. But that also did not go without that bandit leader requesting that one of his family members, who was also arrested by security forces in Falgore Forest in Kano State, is released. So it looks like there was a battle. That cattle rustler who was arrested in Kano State had to be released by security forces for these 27 students to be released. But as to money is being paid, for now we haven't heard. What we are very sure of at this point in time is that there was an exchange. So this cattle rustler who was arrested by security forces in Kano State in the Falgore Forest there was allowed to be freed in exchange for these 27 students.
Some two questions here. Who and who really were involved in the negotiations? I know you mentioned the former president Obasanjo, but give us the lowdown on who and who were really involved, and any word at all from the Kaduna State government. We know that Nasir El-Rufai says no way of paying bandits or kidnappers.
Well, Andy will tell you very quickly that the list of those who were involved is not fully revealed, but the most popular persons who were on that team were partially revealed earlier today by the families, that's the parents of these students. In their statement, they had said that they were thanking former President Olusegun Obasanjo, former head of state Abdulsalami Abubakar, Sheikh Ahmad Gumi, and then some people, including the media, for helping them out. Now, in all of this, there's no mention of Kaduna State government paying any ransom or even being involved in the negotiations. But a lot of this negotiation are always shrouded in secrecy. So there is no way the Kaduna State government wouldn't have played a role, because it's the government in power here, and then we also have it liaising with the security forces. Don't forget, even earlier today, we saw a lot of communities within the fringes of Kaduna State and Abuja being afraid that there were lots of cattle herdsmen who were roaming around, moving from one part of the state to another, and it was the Kaduna State government that was involved immediately to call upon the attention of the security forces to go and meet with those moving herdsmen. And eventually, when towards this evening, we were told by Kaduna State that they were not they were not harmful herdsmen, but just herdsmen who are roving from one part of the country to another. So if you take cognizance of that statement and what the families of the students have said, then it means there is no how the Kaduna state government would have been pushed out of this. But in all, the parents are very glad that their children are back, and they hope to embrace them warmly tomorrow. Many of them told us that they will be crying tears of joy more than even what we saw today at the Afaka College.
Absolutely, and of course we've been told that that reunion is going to wait until tomorrow. But Sumner, I do know that you spoke to some of the students, especially there in Afaka. Can you tell us, the situation as it concerns securing that school against a further encroachment of these bandits? And also, do we have any word concerning the Greenfield University students, and if there's any talks in terms of getting them freed from their captors?
Okay, I had spoken earlier on with some of the students where I had a chat with them, and I was like, are you now safe with what is going on in the school? Have you spoken with your school authorities if more security measures need to be stepped up? And they were like, yes, the school management has tried its best. The school management has spoken with other officials. Don't forget, this is a federal institution, so they've spoken with officials in Ibadan where their superiors are based, and then in Abuja, and then a lot is being done. Don't forget, that institution is also opposite the Nigerian Defense Academy, and then there's the Kaduna Airport close to that area. So it's an area that such a thing shouldn't have happened. But with this, a lot of technology is being brought in place, because when I was passing through the NDA, I saw that lots of CCTV cameras were planted all around the facility of the NDA itself, but not within the school. And so it looks like security measures are actually being stepped up by the federal government in some of the institutions here. Now, as to the Greenfield University students, we haven't heard so much, but in the statement released by the Afaka parents, they have said that they were hopeful that these students will be released because they know what it means to be under such pains. And honestly, they said that their hearts are with the parents of the Greenfield University students.
All right,
and they hope that pretty soon, before the end of this week, they will have the students back.
All right, SUMNER, SAMBO, great work. Thank you for that update.